Okay.
Okay.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
How
We are here.
was
We
your
have
week?
arrived.
Hey, happy Mercury retrograde.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
Well, it's in Pisces, so it's going to be a little different than most retrogrades because because Pisces Pisces doesn't like they like blurred lines, all right? They like blurred lines because they understand that's what it really is, right?
Mm.
And so it's all illusion. And
Mm.
Mercury wants, I need structure. I need it to be a certain way. Tell me what the box is, put it in here so that way we know how to operate. And so
Mm.
with this particular retrograde starting yesterday, right? Yesterday, early this morning, depending on where you're at in the world, right?
Okay.
And it's really about slowing down and communicating to yourself what your ideals are for the future and then living them now. And so it's about how you communicate with yourself. So that's what this one's all about.
I like that.
Yeah, me too. I'm really happy. And
Be
the
who
moon
you
is in
want to be.
Gemini, so that makes Mercury very satisfied and connected spiritually as well. Go ahead.
I was just thinking, so be who you want to be now of who you're wanting to be then. So be it now.
Next,
The
exactly.
energy.
And
Yeah.
it's not it isn't fake it till you make it. It's just start living the way you think that is.
Hmm.
So if you think that peace is where you want to be, start living peacefully and sharing that version of you with others.
Okay.
And then they'll feel the freedom of choice and they can choose how they want to live. And
Hmm.
then that acceptance allows us to be in the vibrational offering of all of us easier rather than so judgmental.
Yeah.
I recently had a preference. I recently had a preference. and and when I had that preference and it wasn't met, I was like, "Oh my goodness, how will I communicate about this?" Right?
Okay.
And so I had to sit with myself and first go through like all the judgment that naturally comes up about how I think something should be, right?
Right.
And then going into acceptance about what is, and then it didn't matter anymore. It really
Hmm.
didn't matter anymore. It was just something that I got.
Right.
So yeah, right.
I love it.
So I know that there's like a few people that are viewing, and if you guys have questions, all right, or you'd like for us to shift your energy, because that's probably what will happen,
Mm.
we're very open to that, and we usually choose whoever shows up first because it's easier that way, and
Yeah.
then right, and then we look through the comments and we start to post them. So if you're interested in an energetic reading, all right, because that's what we're going to do. We're going to read your energetic field, and we read in varying ways. Sarah and I read similar. We'll read the similar information, all right, because we could both see and all of that good stuff, right?
Hmm.
However, when we read, hi. Okay, so we have Jessica. Hi,
Hi,
Jessica.
Jessica.
And when we read, we're just kind of taking in the ambience of the situation. And this is Anna. Hi, Anna.
Hi, Anna.
Great. Welcome. Welcome. And so, what it does is it puts us kind of like into what's called an entrainment. And that means that all of us are kind of feeling the same energy and it resonates with us. And so we go, oh, okay, that's what that is. And then all the nervous systems in the entrainment settle down. And
Mm.
then that's how you self-regulate. You regulate yourself by allowing it to be whatever it is, and then deciding that's okay, and
Hmm.
then relaxing.
Hmm.
And those are the physical attributes to grounding.
Perfect.
Yeah. How was your week?
Oh, my week's been great. Yeah, I've been good. My husband Jimmy, you know who Jimmy is, but people don't know. So my husband has been
Right?
sick. So I've been keeping myself safe and protected from his stuff because I don't want to get sick. So
No.
I've been very
No.
healthy. I'm really glad. So that's good. And I'm keeping my energy up and I'm just, I've kind of been in this mindset of what I feel I do. That's just been me lately. If I'm
Yeah.
feeling it, I'm gonna do it. If I'm gonna,
Yeah, but
if I'm,
recently you branched out into singing, being a lead singer in a band, so that's like really cool.
well, I mean, I'm trying, but yeah, I'm just yeah. Well, I mean, it's that, but it's simple things. Like I'm not stopping myself from doing things that maybe I'm like, I don't need to do that now, or no, I shouldn't. I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna do it because my body's telling me yes, and I'm gonna go with a yes. More yeses for me.
More
So
yeses for me as well.
yeah,
I'm very selective.
yeah,
And so I'm keeping my vibration,
yeah,
my feelings and my thoughts in a certain frequency.
yes, yes.
So that what opportunities I would like, or I think they're in those frequencies. So I have been looking at how I feel about a lot of things, right? And asking myself if I have to continue a feeling, right? If it doesn't produce or support what it is that I'm actually wanting, right?
Yeah.
And so I've been practicing a lot of that, and it's getting easier. And when I oversimplify it, it makes it easier for my body, because my
Mhm.
body can create almost like an instant understanding in the mind. And then I have a feeling, and the feeling I can relax, and then my
Mhm.
nervous system relaxes. And that's how I've been clearing a lot. I'm
Good.
moving away from metaphysical language because it scares people, right? And so just talking about energy is so much easier, rather than saying, oh, yeah, we have like this blah, 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 blah in your field, right? And that's from my interpretation and what I'm sensing and how I've studied, right, Sarah?
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. And so that's just the lens I was using. And now I'm opening it more to energy, and I'm just looking at the frequency and fine tuning, because so many people have done like the inner work, right? A lot of inner work,
Mhm.
and they're connected
Mhm.
to that. I think, have you noticed with your clients that there's a lot of emotional release going on right now?
Always. Yeah. Always. Oh, well, especially here in this setting, because this is a very safe place that I'm in for people to just let go, and they know that I'm not judgy. So yeah, there's a lot of that.
Absolutely not.
A lot of
No,
that.
you're
And they
very
know that I'm
loving and you
really,
hold wonderful space.
yeah, thank
Right.
you. And there's definitely a lot. They know that um I understand, and I've been through a lot of stuff. So yeah, definitely there's been a lot more releases, a lot more lately, which has been great. I'm happy for people that they can do that because I've been doing the same. So it
Okay.
feels good that we're
Well,
kind
that's
of
great.
we're on
Me
the
too.
yeah, it's been good.
Yeah. All of us, everyone, it's a very big collective. The world is a very big collective, and
Hmm.
we're all in the same consciousness. And all of us are having very similar experiences now, because a lot of us haven't we all noticed that we don't necessarily care for, and we don't align with what's going on externally from us. And at first, probably in 2020, we were still blaming the external world for how we felt in our inner world, right?
Hmm.
And then somebody invented that shadow book, right? That shadow journal. And
Hmm.
like everybody went and did that on TikTok. So that was really cool. So that introduced people to themselves, right? The self-realization book.
Yeah.
Um, there was enough people who invested time into themselves during the pandemic to find out like what was true, and they had to keep searching themselves, right? And so, and then we have Maria Scorpio. Hi.
Hi.
All right. By the way, if you guys have a question, you can ask a
Throw it in
question,
there.
and we'll do our best to
Hmm.
read the energy of possibility for you. All right. And I saw that a lot of people were into self-realization and choosing for themselves, learning what choice was, and then from there, doing like a lot of inner healing, like a grip, and then moving into first dad energy, and clearing that, then mom energy, then parent, and then sit, and then family. And so we're through like we're through like each of the energetic bodies that we've created, right? And
Hmm.
I noticed that like sometimes people, when there's an overwhelm of emotion or an overwhelm of thought, that they will turn to the external as the cause.
Mm.
And what you're doing, what I see you doing in that moment is that you're going out and you're going to bring more in, and that creates that confusion. Yes. Yes. Okay. So this is Jessica,
Mm.
and she says, I've been feeling so emotional lately. Can I get a general reading that may be causing it? Yeah. Okay. So I would say that there's probably an extra energy, but you've been kind of curious. What do you think, Sarah?
Yeah, it's like looking at it. Is it yours? Is it yours to have, or is it somebody else's? So you're probably tuning in. You could potentially be tuning into something else that's not you, right, Lucinda?
Yeah. I kind of feel like it's sorrow, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
Yeah.
if you've been really emotional and kind of like in sorrow or melancholy, I think that we could do an exercise that you can repeat anytime. Okay. And the first thing that I do is I make sure that I'm present in my physical form. So I start to notice my body. I notice where there's any pressure points. I notice my toes. I notice my legs and knees, and my hips, and my back, and my stomach, and my chest, my shoulders, and my arms, and my throat, and my neck, and then my head. And you can feel how it becomes a heavier or a more sedentary, gravity based experience to where your
Mm-hmm.
energy feels magnetically pulled toward the earth, right? And
Mm-hmm.
that's what you're imagining or pretending. And we can do it simply by focus. Okay. So as you do that, you're letting go of other vibrational focuses in your experience. It doesn't mean that they all go away. It means you're letting go of those focuses. And right now, as you check your body, you have a lot on your heart. Okay. And so sorrow is very common on the heart, right? So maybe we could what I'm sensing is this, is that you don't necessarily need to know more about it, but what I like to do with things that are heavy on my heart or feel emotionally or sentient, like sentient, right? I want to move them from this dimensional experience into whatever dimensional experience that energy goes to. And I don't want to have to decide it. I don't want to be in charge of that. I just know that I don't need to practice this vibration, and it's being offered rather strongly in my experience, and it's creating a focus that I do not want. Okay. And so, what I'm going to pretend or imagine is that I'm just going to open up like a little archway, and I'm going to say, okay, all of that energy go to the light, go to the light, go to the light. And I'm just going to let it keep going until I start to feel, because I want to sense, I want to have like a sentient experience. So I want to feel. I want to feel when it feels as though it's lessening, right? And I want to keep pushing it toward whatever that bridge is to a different place, right? I'm telling my mind it's all right to let go of a focus,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm saying that that focus can be over here, and now I can focus here where I'm at, where I want to be. And how I want to feel is I want to feel freer, and I want to feel less pressure.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm telling myself what I want to feel. And so now my body and my emotion that can generate that feeling, because that has a whole dictionary, right? Can begin to generate and create that vibration, and I can practice that. And I would say clearing, right? How I do it is I usually do it with elements. And so I'm feeling like I should probably do a clearing. What do you think?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. So just like this: fire, wood, earth, water, metal, spirit, air, your feet. Just whoo, yeah. There we go. Little booping action right there. Let's do this again. All of you get out. And all of you, thank you. Goodbye. All right. Now I need you to check in and tell me if you feel more present. Okay. I feel more present. I was in a shared experience with you and I feel more present. So I hope that that worked out really well for you. A lot of times when people are experiencing the sensation of trying to read two vibrations that are not similar, it makes it very difficult and confusing. And so our mind desires, because that's the masculine energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yay, that's great.
Good.
That's perfect. And another way that you can do it, right, is you can just think about colors. You could say, oh, okay, red, and make it really, really bright red. Just go through the rainbow, red to purple, and just red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. And so that's your chakras. And you just make it really, really bright in a visualization. And that will clear you as well, because your intention is that you're clearing your energetic centers. And that's what you're doing. So you could do that too. That's another tip. Okay. You're
Love
really
it.
welcome. What sort of things do you use to clear? How do you clear, Sarah?
Mm. Um, I do a few things. Well, I like to clear. A lot of times I go out and I ground. I'm a very tangible person. And so I know grounding can be very, very much different ways. Like people eat certain things or do whatever. I like to actually step in the grass. And then to me, in my mind, I'm pulling all of that energy out of my body and I'm really focusing on imagining it going into the ground and I'm connecting it to the earth and I'm like giving it back to earth, and just and then I connect the white light. I bring white light in, I connect it to the center of the earth and I bring it back up and I imagine a white bubble around me. And that's how I like to do like a very tangible clearing, right? I will also sage myself a lot too. And I pull out any of that, anything stuck to me energies. Um, yeah, all clear also by what I ask too. I speak to spirit a lot and I just ask that just to help pull out anything that I don't need anymore, pull it out, so I'll say it. So I just do a few variants of things. It just depends on what I have time for, where I'm at. Oh, and one other thing that I do sometimes is when I shower at night, I like to imagine the water cleansing me. So I'll go into the shower water and I'll just imagine it like a white light of like water, white light water, however you want to imagine that. And it's literally like just bathing me in white light. So I'm clearing myself that way too. I do a lot of visualization. So those are like a few ways that I like to do it. But so, yeah.
That's cool. We have one more question, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm curious. This is Catherine. I'm curious about a situationship I'm in. It feels like it's becoming more than we thought, but he's not giving clarity. Lately, getting vibes it'll either end or turn into something more, but we are on different life paths.
Mm. Ava,
There's a
I'll be
lot
there in about 5 minutes. Okay.
conflict in that. Huh?
I'll be there in like a few minutes. Okay.
Hi. Hi, friend. Hi, friend. Hi, friend. You look bomb today. I love you. Mwah.
She's telling me her tutor's done. Tell her I'll be there in like 3 minutes. Okay. Just wait just a few minutes. 3 minutes.
I love my friend.
She loves me.
No. Okay. So we have I'm curious about a situationship I'm in. It feels like it's becoming more than we thought. Okay, so first I want to break down the structure of the spoken question, because it weaves back and forth and that creates confusion. And Catherine, I'll say, oh, Catherine. Okay, so I'll say that she's in that confused energy, and that's what we're reading. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
it's confusion. Yeah, she's confused.
Okay. And so it feels like it's becoming more than we thought, but he's not giving clarity. So that means that you're allowing something to be
Mhm.
external of you, but you've already made a decision and you're just waiting. And if it's not the same as his, then you'll let him know. If it's the same, you won't be your authority and give yourself agency in it. You'll allow him to make the decision. So that's the first part of the phrasing that I'm looking at. And then it says, lately getting vibes, it'll either end or turn into something more. Today is like this particular Mercury retrograde plus with Pluto and Aquarius. So for the next 18 years, I guess, 19 years, everybody who's in a relationship or is going to be in a relationship or has been in a relationship, doesn't matter. All relationships are very questionable. All of them, no matter how long they've been, no matter how much love there is, because everybody is really coming into an understanding of who they are.
Mm.
So if you can like look at it as he's just kind of finding himself and you're meandering together, all right, that would lessen the burden of the necessity you feel for clarity. And it feels like you're not really, I don't feel a push for clarity. I feel more, I don't know, I feel more like, I don't know if the clarity that you're asking for is clarity. It might be like a guarantee, and I don't know if that's possible. And that's kind of like what I read at first. So I'm curious about a situationship. Okay. So this is a non committed relationship with another individual. All right. And then it feels like it's becoming more than we thought. So both of you are showing points of interest to deepen this particular situationship into a partnership of some sort that is more than how you're practicing. All right. And then, but so you throw all that away. Okay. He's not giving clarity. So you've already put it in his court because maybe you've expressed like what you're feeling. Okay. We don't know. Okay. Lately, getting vibes, it'll either end or turn into something more. Yes. But that's how every relationship is when it's getting ready to evolve. And it evolves either together or apart. And that's what you're saying, but you're going into evolution. That's what you're sensing. You're going into a different dynamic of how you want to relationships. So here's some keys but we're on different life paths. Okay, that doesn't, who cares? You should be. I don't want to be the same as Manuel. I don't know about, no, I can't speak for Sarah, but I don't
Oh
know. I'm
no,
good.
I want to.
My
I
path,
might. I do
path,
me.
we kind of help each other out occasionally, but
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't want to be the same. That's boring.
no. That'd be boring. Okay, so the idea I think is I say I think on this one on
I
Nikki
have
and on.
something to say.
Okay, please.
Okay. Keep doing you. Keep doing you genuinely. Don't wait for him to tell you how to progress in the rest of your life. So if it works for you right now, then be in the now. Don't look too far into the future. So you keep doing your life, he does his life, and if it continues to be the way that it's meant to be, it will be, and allow it to be. Don't stop the flow. That's kind of what we're in right now. Go with it. If it's feeling right for you, then go with it. If what he's doing isn't right for you anymore and you feel like you're too different,
She said he wants kids, marriage, and I don't exactly.
okay, well then just be in the now. Be in the now for right now. And if it's not working for you, then you know what your answer is. But don't wait for him to tell you what to do with the rest of your life. And make sure that you keep doing what you want to do the way you want to do it. Be genuine to yourself.
You have deep feelings for this individual already, and so you're already counting it a loss because you guys have different focuses in what a relationship looks like for marriage with kids and things, right? And if you guys started out in a situationship, feelings are That's the name of the game right now. Everybody's in their feels. So you will go through all of the limitations that you put in front of yourself, whatever they are. It doesn't matter if they're right or wrong, how they work for you or don't work for you. But anytime you told yourself no, it's going to be in front of you right now. And anytime you told yourself yes, it's going to be there as well. And so you're sorting through your moral value, your efficiency, your integrity, how you want to show up, how you would like partnership to show up. And a lot of times when we start from a wound or a trauma bond and we're in the relationship and it is this, it doesn't allow us to stay in the relationship because that's how the bond was originally forged. So sometimes, all right, because we're moving into a more divine, feminine, masculine, energetic connection to where, like, do you have your stuff done? Great, we could date. You haven't done any work? All right. And the idea is to find out whether or not, because I feel like this heaviness about if I tell him, or since I've already told him and now he's saying these things, right? And they could be life paths, but they could also be conversations. And you have 3 weeks not to talk right now. 3 weeks not to talk about anything. 3 whole weeks. Just started yesterday. You don't need to make any contracts or agreements right now. Okay. And that's what Sarah's talking about like letting it just like buffer, right? Let it buffer and load. Let it buffer and load. Give yourself a little bit of time before you're walking down the aisle, because you haven't first committed to any kind of a relationship, because you yourself called it a situationship. Okay. And
one
so
step at a time.
right. I used to joke about people being in line at the supermarket and getting married. So you're fine. It's okay. Just relax. I don't see it as evolving into something that you have to worry about as much as it is that you can accept as it is right now. And if the conversations do turn to something that's uncomfortable, you just become loving and direct like you are, right? And support the nature of who you are. Don't be afraid. Have your agency. Really show up for yourself. I think this is a big learning curve, because I think it is more genuine than you have felt safe being in most relationships. And so I sense the trepidation to be too honest, because now that might stop. He may not like me anymore. Okay. Yet that is always going to be the question with whatever comes up in the relationship. Okay. If I get eggs, or if I like eggs, is he going to like me anymore? It doesn't really matter. Okay. If you guys are good, then you're good. If you're not, you're not. That's how it works. And it's really, that's just relationship.
What I was exactly saying. Just keep doing you genuinely. And if it works for him, it works for him.
Great advice.
I love it.
As soon as you said that was perfect. Everything fell. All right. Well, we're at 3:32 today, and I appreciate you, and I must retreat. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you.
Love you.